You must make space for transformation.
Hey everybody, it is 2021 and it is time to get things rolling. Hey, I get it. Hey, some of you right now are might be in a spot where you're in that big excitement zone. You're ready. You're action taking right now to get the ball rolling for 21. And some of you may be in a spot where you're still thinking about it. Hey, I just need to collect myself and figure out where I am.
I think
Um,
this year more than ever, we're seeing kind of that hesitation. Not a hesitation, but just like, I need a little more time,
right.
right? It's been a long year. We
Yeah.
need a little more time.
It has. It's been a
It
long year. I
has.
think so. I think
Yes.
so. But wherever you are in that picture, it's important that we take the time now to make space for change to actually take hold. Like, too often we get caught up in that steamroller of just go, 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 do the next thing, takes the next action. And there's an old saying that goes, "Don't try to put 10 pounds of crap in a 5 pound bag." You're just going to make a mess of
No,
things.
he grew up on a farm, so he says
Yes,
things like that all the
I
time. And I'm
have
like, what do you
wonderful
mean? So
sayings.
explain what do you mean.
Well, think about it. Visualize that for a second. If you try that, you're going to make a mess.
Right.
Okay?
Actually, physically trying to put more stuff into an already overwhelmed space, and that's happening a lot right now, right? With the now one more thing. Oh, now I have to start working out, or now I have to start eating healthy. Where am I going to put it?
Right. So, we're going to give you three key ways so you can make sure that that doesn't happen to you. Okay? So, I'm Coach Jesse. This is Coach Stacy. We empower people to live strong, healthy, and happy.
And we're the
Um,
owners of MyFit24.
yeah, yeah. It actually reminds me of what I see a lot of people go through with the traditional soccer mom mentality.
Yeah, well, that's me. Like we have two teenagers now, but I remember there was this one year when we were, I was coaching our daughter's soccer team, and at the same time, Jesse was coaching Bodie's our son's football team, and we were just taking. We're still, we own a business. We got to feed the kids. We got to do, take care of the home. All the different things. I'm volunteering in the school, and it was like just that one too many things, and it gets overwhelming, and I know that desire to want to just, oh, if I can fit it in, I can make it happen, I can help here, I can do this. But sometimes that doesn't help anybody if you take on too much and it's just overflowing. So instead, we really encourage you guys to make space for change to happen.
Right. And we were noticing in that period of our life, there were things definitely falling off the wayside. We were beginning to take a little bit less care of our own personal bodies. Our relationships with our kids were suffering just a little bit more. Things that are important to us in our lives begin to kind of slip and fall away. So,
Yeah. Do you ever feel that way? Do you ever feel like maybe I'm just like taking on too much? Maybe you are driving all, volunteering to carpool the kids and volunteering in the schools, and and helping, take care of a relative, and just too many things. And when we take on too many things, a lot of times we get in that mentality of I just need to work harder. But instead, like I said, let's make some space.
yeah. So here are three key things that you need to do in order to prevent that and make sure that you're setting yourself up on the right foot in 21 to get what you want out of
Yeah,
it.
and by the way, we stopped calling it 2021. I want to call it just 21. It sounds
Just
cooler,
simpler.
sounds better. So
Right.
21.
All
Here we
right.
go.
So, number one, you have to decide what stays. Take a good look and think about the things, that pieces in your life right now that are going well for you, that you want to make sure that they don't suffer. If you have family time that's going well and you want to make sure that that stays, make it a priority. Keep it in your schedule. If you have some workout momentum right now, if you have a rhythm that you're establishing on your workout routine that's working for you, don't disrupt that. Don't do anything that will cause that to be harmed. If you have some eating habits that you've established, that you've worked on making some changes, and those things are going well for you, and you're taking care of your body well, by eating well, make sure that that doesn't get disrupted. So make sure that you prioritize what you want
And
to keep.
decide what stays. Like, I like to watch a lot of, I think there's these closet decorating shows, Me and Jesse are always watching those. Just kidding. He doesn't watch it with me. But when in those shows, the first thing they do, or like any kind of like, home, clean out show, they're going to say, which things mean something to you. And if something doesn't mean something to you, then why is it here? Instead, let's focus first on like, okay, what value does this thing bring to my life? And so really think about all the different areas of your life and say, okay, what is bringing me value, and what do I want to keep? And you
Right.
decide that first and
And
foremost.
the ones that mean the most, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, next step, decide what can go. So, take a look around, take a look at your life and choose something that can go. All right? If I got rid of this, would that help me? Would that benefit my life? I'm talking about junk food, Look at your pantry, look at your refrigerator.
We don't need
Things like
that.
that,
We
stuff
don't
that
need that.
man, that
Mm-hmm.
can go.
Right.
I don't need that around. I don't need it as part of
Maybe
what
you
I'm
do.
doing.
That's up to you, right? If that's something
Sure.
that you really like having,
Right.
we're not saying you gotta throw it away. We're not dictating what you gotta
Right.
do, but you need to decide: is this something that I really love that's really benefiting me? Maybe it is.
Right.
Maybe your ice cream is making you happy once a week. Maybe you have a glass of wine once a week. That's great. I'm all for that. But really, like, take hold and say, okay, what is important, and also things like wasted time,
Right.
Netflix binging. I know a lot of us have been victim of that lately. And then like fad
Right.
programs.
Yeah, is it like Super X 50,000 that is the craze that's sweeping the land and
Catchy name.
right, and it's not sustainable right before you start it.
Right. And we've seen all the trends come and go. I mean, you
Sure.
guys have seen everything from, like, I'm not even going to name things, but you've seen every single different trend. And you don't want to just keep falling for that next trend that's like a short-term fix or
Right.
something that's not like completely proven by science. It's just something
Right.
that's fun and new and distracting. Because what we find is like people just go in circles when they
Right.
get that way. So just like the closet show, you gotta get rid of the stuff, right? Like I know, like we're recently like cleaning out our basement and taking all kinds of stuff to give away and to bring to the dump because we don't need it. And how good
Right.
does that feel? It may be hard sometimes to let go of some of those things. I know getting rid of some of the kids' younger clothes are so cute and toys, but once you get rid of it and you give it to somebody else or you dispose of it, you feel better. So think of that in your life. You got to actually make the cut and say you're gone.
Yeah. And if it's not sustainable, that's usually a big red flag for you. It's something that you can help make that tipping point. Is this something that can last for me long term for my benefit?
Exactly.
All right, and thirdly, you need to actually take the bold action. You can't just beat around the bush. You can't just think about it and say, "Oh, that's a good idea that I want to do." You actually have to take that bold action. And you push out junk. You push out the things in your life that are occupying negativity by adding something of value. You put something in there that you want, that on purpose is just for you.
I think you explain it really well. It's like a vacuum. So once you make that space, it's there, and it's gonna get filled up by something really, really quick.
Yeah.
Imagine your time suck. We'll get just eaten up, or whatever it is gonna happen. So we want you to take and make the choice of what you want and actually make it happen. Put
Right.
it there.
So take a bold action. Maybe you've never done a nutrition challenge before and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to focus myself for a short period of time and say, dedicated. I'm going to fix some things in my nutrition. I'm going to eat really well, whole, clean foods, locally sourced that are good for me, and just apply yourself to it. Maybe you've never worked with a trainer before and you're like, you know what? I'm going to get some guidance. I'm going to actually hire someone to make me do the right thing and make sure that I build a sustainable fitness program that's going to be good for me long term, not
Right.
just give me results now.
Right.
It'll do that.
And a big part of that is the accountability, of
Yeah,
course.
huge. Huge.
And think about, like, maybe it's just taking that bold action to just get back to workouts. Maybe you've been away from them for a long time. Maybe you're like nervous about doing live streaming, or maybe you're like, I'm just sick of Zoom calls, so I don't want to do this anymore. Well, that's not a good excuse, guys. If you need fitness and that's the way that you can get it, then you got to do it. You got to take the
Right.
action. Look for opportunities. Look for, I'm always all about like look for the experts with the accreditation and the education and the people that really care about helping you. That's the most important thing. There's so much spam on Instagram and Facebook and this guru and that, and there's lots and lots out there. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. So make sure to do your research and find out who's the best one to follow. Who's actually
Right.
doing what you want to do. And what are the 3 things we say when choosing a coach?
Make sure that they've been there, make sure that they've done that, and make sure that they're still in the game.
Right.
Like they've had some experience, they had some success, and they're still in it.
Right.
Make sure those 3 things are always present with any coach or mentor that you choose.
Right. So I know what you guys are thinking right now. Like, I just got to work harder. I can just fit more in. I don't need to, doing this detox just takes up too much time. Well, it's time well spent. I can't argue with you enough on that. It's time well spent. make sure, because I've been that person before. I've been like, I just got to do more. I just got to fit more in. I just got to not sleep, and I
I just
can
gotta be more
get
disciplined. I just need to manage my
right.
schedule better.
I just
Like,
need to not
smash
eat
more in.
this for so whatever it is. You guys know what I'm talking about. I know you have that objection, but I encourage you to take those steps.
So it's time. It's time to create space for change in your life. Choose what can go. Choose what you want to keep. Choose what can go. And then make sure that you replace and fill that void with something of value that's going to add purpose and meaning to your all wealth, your well-being. I was combining words there, just putting them,
Okay.
smashing them
That's
together.
okay. I do that.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to declutter your vocabulary.
I need to declutter my mind.
Oh, okay. That's good. But I hope that you guys have found value out of this today. And what we'd love to do is give you guys a free coaching call. We call it a healthy formula assessment. What we're going to do is we're going to sit down. We're going to talk about, first of all, establish who you are, what you do for work, all those fun things. But we're going to say, okay, what is your fitness experience like? What is your health background like? And we're going to then take some experience from the past and everything and help you to create a plan. We're going to ask you what your goals are. So I want you to think about, like, what do you want right now? Maybe it's just what you want in the next month. Maybe it's just what you want in the next year. But whatever it is, we are going to encourage you to kind of think about that. And then from there, we're going to give you our expert advice of how you should take action on that. So I'll put the link in the comments. So you guys can definitely check that out. It's also at myfit24.com. But that's a free coaching call we want to gift to you. Take advantage of it. Even if you've been with MyFit before, or you're still with us and you haven't done that call, reach out to us, because we want to help you, and we get some great tips and ideas on how to reach you virtually or in person, however you're comfortable and manageable these days. I'll get lots of options.
Yeah, so no strings attached. You'll walk away from that call with clarity of what your next steps should be.
Yes.
To hit the goals that you were after. So
If
that's our mission for you.
If anything, I feel like I over-educate sometimes. I like to give information, so I always talk a lot, and then I'm like, okay, what questions do you have?
You're intense sometimes?
Sometimes.
What?
You are too.
What? Yeah.
So anyway, okay, so I'm going to put the link in the comments. We'd love if you guys reached out and take advantage of that healthy formula assessment. But we hope that you guys live strong, healthy, and happy, and make it an awesome day.
See ya.